everyone, Xanarel Gaming coming at y'all with another video, and this is going to be a different kind of video. The channel is growing and I appreciate all the support. I really want to get into covering more news based off of trading card games, right? Like the channel, I've been doing a lot of Union Arena, Digimon, One Piece. I look forward to, doing the Gundam card game when it comes out, and then I really look forward to doing the new League of Legends trading card game when it comes out. So this is a new kind of video. Let me know what y'all think about these. Definitely trying something new here, but there is some really big news in the trading card game community because League of Legends has released some news on their new TCG that's coming out. It was formerly known as Project K, and they are doing something cool, right? They're giving us a name. Riftbound League of Legends trading card game. You can, check this on the site. I'll definitely link it for you. But it is, I like this design. I like the name Riftbound, so it, stays in touch with League of Legends, being on Summoner's Rift, all the cool things that people love about that. They're bringing League of Legends into a card game. If you don't know that yet, now you do, and you can start coming to me for news. But I do want to cover this news a little bit because they gave us some news by revealing 3 leaders that are going to be coming out when the game comes out, right? I have a lot of questions about these cards. They are really cool looking cards to, say the least, right? Like, I like them a lot. We have Jinx, Loose Cannon, Viktor, Herald of the Arcane, and Yasuo Unforgiven. I think that they're definitely really touching a good base, bringing Jinx and Viktor, considering they were in, Arcane, which, depending on how much you liked or not, was a success, right? There's no doubting that Arcane, the show, was a success, so I think it's awesome they are pulling 2 characters from something there that is recent. And then Yasuo is just always a really cool, awesome character, a fan favorite. But these cards look awesome. Really cool, definitely a very different art style than what they were giving us, earlier in, like the release videos that they had for, the game ahead of time. Like, these look way different than anything they had before, so they have definitely listened to the community updating these arts. But I do want to touch on these cards a little bit and see, like, what's just going on with the cards, right? Like, we don't have a ton of information about the game yet, but I do want to look into some things. And something really cool is to see that these, these leaders seem to have, dual colors. So double colors coming out the start. It looks like that they have, for these legends, I said leaders in quotations up here, but they're considered legends. And it looks like they're going to have 2 colors, and each color is maybe a faction, from League of Legends. But as much as I try to look into these imagings, these could either be updated imagings that they're going to use custom imagings for factions from League of Legends. But in my knowledge of the game, I keep up with it pretty well. These look like some adapted versions of factions or, different, countries in, the verse of League of Legends. But these look so custom that I cannot speculate what the names of them are. I think that they're going to make, their own kind of factions maybe for this card game for them, which will be really cool. But it'd be cool to see them, kind of tell us, give us some news. The way that this one looks right here, maybe some kind of marksman aspect, and then maybe some conjuring. I'm just speculating here. And then this one, maybe some kind of arcane, I don't know, cool stuff. And then Yasuo dealing with the wind. And then he also has the same purple as Jinx here. But one thing to note then, colors 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 different colors at the release of a game seems pretty cool, but we can imagine that there'll be a lot more leaders than these 3. But they do have different things to denote their colors or factions right here. And then also on the cards here, red and purple for Jinx, blue and yellow for the Viktor, and green and purple for Yasuo. Really cool. One cool thing to know about these leaders too is that they have a sub name. Like, this is Legend Jinx Loose Cannon. I think that they're taking a pretty big book off of Lorcana here by, you can print a lot of the same cards or leaders and then give them a subtitle. This is Loose Cannon Jinx, right? So this leaves room for them to then be able to make another Jinx label later, and then maybe it be Crazed Loose Jinx or so, just something different. Like, it gives them a chance to give these characters different names and make different leaders, but still be the same name, but just a different subtext or maybe title. This could be their title, however they want to say that. Going further into the cards here, these leaders do come with some abilities that I'll read off to you. The Yasuo down here, he's Unforgiven. He says 2, and it looks like tap this character. So maybe you pay 2, whatever the energy source will be in this game. Tap 2, move a friendly unit to or from your base, right? Pretty cool. So it seems like Yasuo is going to be a really cool go in, go out kind of character, which does fit with the basis of his League of Legends. But this leads to another question, right? What are bases? We need to get some answers. So this is definitely one of my biggest questions coming out of this information releases. What are bases going to be in this game? We touched on colors. I think that these 5 colors are the colors they'll probably go with, but I can see them adding, one more. A lot of card games start with at least 3 to 4 colors, so 5 is already a lot. I could see that being the colors they go with are these, and they can mix them up in different ways. Viktor, Herald of the Arcane, has a pay 1 and tap him to play a 1 something recruit unit token. So this maybe is like the symbol for strength, like 1 attack or 1 strength unit, something really cool like that. And then Jinx just saying here at the start of your beginning phase, draw 1 if you have 1 or fewer cards in your hand. So it seems like, Jinx's playstyle is going to be to throw your cards on the board and then hopefully get some value later by letting you draw a card back when you're less in the hand. Viktor seems to be a token creator deck, and then Yasuo seems like an in and out, but we can confer or like try to take from it, right? I'm pulling at strings here, but I just want to cover these cards a little bit. All the arts look really awesome. Very happy about that. So some questions that are unanswered, or that have been answered or unanswered, right? A lot of fans had questions about the art of the card game. People were really, really upset about the art because it looked really basic, it looked really bland, and it didn't look like it had a lot of life. And a lot of them kind of looked like screenshots, right? And I'll touch on this later why that probably was the case, because their partner that they are working with that they announced with us has been known to do screenshots of their card games, and they have, gotten feedback and they've listened to people, and now they are making custom arts, which is awesome. So they changed the art of the cards. Art looks original and new. Love that they did that. Gameplay, they did not answer any more questions for us for the gameplay. No real updates on gameplay. We know that there is a head-to-head aspect and then a commander style of play that they're wanting to go with too, but we've seen that from the videos of them playing in groups, or 4v4 style if you play Magic, commander style, or if you play the 4v4 for Altered is a really cool way to have more than one player on the board. And then another question we wanted to bring up was releasing, right? Like, when is this releasing? And then they did say that in the summer of this year, it will be releasing in China first. Then they go on to say that it will then release in English-speaking countries after, which is very vague. Assuming North America, Europe, English-speaking countries, and then no announcement for Japan, which is really, really interesting that they have no announcements for Japan, because that is the biggest market for trading card games. I do want to touch on this a little bit more. I think that the reason they are trying China first is because they're being very, very careful with the way they release this game, and they are probably putting it in China first to get some beta testing out for the game, and then they can take that feedback, and whatever they want to change to the game, they can change it before releasing it to the English communities, and then obviously later, hopefully, the Eastern countries to release there too. So I think that's why China is getting it first, it being a good testing ground for a lot of companies, not just card games, but a lot of companies and apps and games do a lot of their testing in China just to make it easier on them. So that is some release information. They did say later this year for English, so we can assume, hopefully, around Christmas time, hopefully we can get this game and start playing it over the holidays. Would be really cool, but no announcement for anything in the East. I do have a couple of the other arts they showed on this card. It's just being a super mega death rocket. Really cool card that looks like you got to pay for 4. And it says signature spell of Jinx, which is really cool. So maybe meaning that you can only run it in a Jinx deck. Deal 5 to a unit. When you conquer, you may discard 1 to return this from your trash to your hand. So really cool. Not sure what conquer means, but it is a red and purple. Costs 4 or another right here. So pretty cool art on the card, and that definitely goes in with Jinx's playstyle. And then we have another very unique, Unit Shadow Isles. So looks like we may get some support we can infer from this card. Shadow Isles, a lot of characters in League of Legends that they might be bringing in here. Definitely a couple favorite that I'm looking for, maybe like a Lowy or maybe Malachi coming into the game. But this thing costs 8, and we do see that big sword stat up here is 8. So I'm imagine this is the damage this card does, and the 8 is probably the play cost here. This is a Dead Bloom Predator. Deflect. Opponents must pay something to choose me with a spell or ability, so I guess this maybe means energy generation or something along the lines of that. You may play me to an occupied enemy battlefield. Very interesting. The souls of those who died unfulfilled coalesce into a form to sate those hungers. Very cool. I like flavor text on cards. Very interesting arts on this. And then this looks like here, what color would this be, right? Like, this is going to be a different color, so maybe this is showing us that we do have, you know, another color in the game, maybe orange. Like, you see, this is orange straight across, and this is definitely a different symbol than we have on Yasuo or Jinx or any of the other cards, so we can assume that we have a yellow or orange color coming to the game because this is all very different down here. Another thing to touch on the cards is it looks like this might be the indication for rarities. And then we also do know that they have a number of 298 here. So it looks like the first set will probably be around 300 cards. Going on to the last slide here, I do want to touch up, I know this is getting a little bit longer, but I'm trying to give you guys all the information that we found out about this game and my thoughts on some of the stuff. And their partner is going to be UVS Games. If you don't know about UVS Games, they are the people who run the UVS Games. Whether you like universes or not, that's not really in the question here, but this is a big trading card game company. They support a lot of different IPs in the UVS games, but in my opinion, I hope that that means that they're just helping, like, what are they helping with, right? Like, are they partners in distribution? Are they helping with gameplay? Everything overall? I do think that it is good that they are seeking a partner to help them out, but I am very curious on if UVS Games is going to be a great partner, only because I've had a lot of bad experience with UVS Games. I've not ever played one more than a year, and then they really broke my heart on the My Hero Academia card game, and like I said, they used, you know, like screenshot, right? They didn't have a ton of original arts in the games other than their higher rarities, but we've already shown there, right? That was one of my cons. A lot of their card games do not feature original art, but Riot League of Legends has already answered and changed that because they, you know, probably were partners with this card game company, and we got bad feedback on the way the cards they look, and they've already answered us by getting that company to hopefully change the arts, or maybe, you know, Riot is giving them the arts to put on the cards, which will help a lot. A pro about this is that they obviously have experience running a huge card game company. I don't want to get into this too much, but this is big news that UVS Games is going to be their partner, but I do not imagine that it's going to be a part of UVS Games. It's just that UVS Games is their partner in helping bring this game out to everyone. My final thoughts is, where is Amumu? If you follow me of any cord on League of Legends or anything like that, I love Amumu, and I want to see him released in this first set. I absolutely love it. I think that this is a positive thing. It's nice to have a finally know what the game is going to be called, have some kind of announcement of a vague release date. We got showed some of the cards, but overall, I am excited about this game. I want you guys to let me know if y'all are excited about this, right? Like, let me know if you guys want me to cover Riftbound. I definitely will probably go to anyways, but I just want to see how much feedback this video gets, and just videos like this overall. Do you want me to cover more news on card games? Because I would love to do so. Please leave this video a like, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate everyone hanging out with me. Peace.